Ladies and gentlemen, the 2027 politics is taking shape in the Republic of Kenya very fast. I am reading online that Rigathi Gachagua is pushing for John Methu to become Kalonzo Musyoka's running mate in 2027 instead of Edwin Sifuna. Do you think that can be a very good combination? Because for me, I strongly believe that the combination of Sifuna and Kalonzo is the best. Probably where Kalonzo is the presidential or Sifuna is the presidential. I doubt if Methu or any other person from the mountain would make a good running mate to Kalonzo Musyoka. Let me read your comments below. But there's also something which is happening. But there's another bombshell. George Natembeya, the Trans Nzoia governor, has officially announced his departure or his exit from DAP-Kenya. DAP-Kenya is led by Eugene Wamalwa. Eugene Wamalwa is one of the core principals in the united opposition. In this video, I want us to look at that move by George Natembeya, because in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Remember, George Natembeya was leading a movement, Tawi movement. And recently, George Natembeya hosted Edwin Sifuna and Linda Mwananchi brigades at his home in Kitale. And I knew at that point that George Natembeya was up to something.
Afu tarehe 26 tutaenda Bungoma. Kitu kama homecoming, si ndio? Tutakuwa na jamii yote, viongozi wetu wote wa jamii ya Luhya, councils of elders zote, vijana wetu, viongozi wa different organizations, wote tutafika kule Bungoma. Maana hii team imetembea katika kaunti zote za Western, walikuwa Kakamega, walikuwa Vihiga, walikuwa Busia, ilikuwa imebaki Trans Nzoia na Bungoma. Sasa Bungoma ndiyo itakuwa mahali pa mwisho. Na hapo ndio sasa wazee wetu pia watatoa baraka zao wakati safari inaanza. Hapo ni sawa sawa? Watembea hawa ndugu zetu mate tukianza safari.
So I want us to understand why George Natembeya has decided to quit DAP-Kenya, the party which made him the governor. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Ladies and gentlemen, George Natembeya at some point was projected to become a serious presidential candidate in the Republic of Kenya. But Edwin Sifuna has emerged. And as we speak, Edwin Sifuna is now the kingpin of the Luhya nation and also a potential running mate in the Republic of Kenya. Which means George Natembeya has now to support Edwin Sifuna the way he announced. So the move by Natembeya to quit DAP-Kenya is directly linked to Edwin Sifuna's moves in the Luhya nation.
Tukisha maliza hiyo sasa, tutaenda kufanya mikutano kwa kila constituency huku Western. Tutakuwa tumewachia Sifuna ameenda hapa kaji la huaya ta. Nefe kuura mengo ngona kulinda Lukova. Sasa yeye akienda kule Nairobi, akienda wapi kule kwenda kuhaya huko kwenda kule Taita wapi, sisi tutatembea katika constituency zote 38 za Western. Zote 38. Maana sisi.
For me, number one, I strongly believe that George Natembeya is going to take charge or to lead the party which Sifuna and the group are forming. George Natembeya himself announced to us their program. Listen in.
Hapo ni sawa sawa? Watembea hawa ndugu zetu mate tukianza safari. Tukisha maliza hiyo sasa, tutaenda kufanya mikutano kwa kila constituency huku Western. Tutakuwa tumewachia Sifuna ameenda hapa kajira kuwaya ta neto kura mengo ngona kulinda Lukova. Sasa yeye akienda kule Nairobi, akienda wapi kule kwenda kuwaya huko, kwenda kule Taita wapi, sisi tutatembea katika constituency zote 38 za Western, zote 38. Maana sisi,
and because he was competing with Wamalwa over the leadership of DAP-Kenya, there's no way he can leave DAP-Kenya just to come and become an ordinary member of any other political party. Probably Edwin Sifuna has promised him to hand over the leadership of that new party. He's going to be the face of Linda Mwananchi in that new party. So I'm 100% sure, and I'm 100% sure that Natembeya is going to be either the party leader of that political party, which Edwin Sifuna will then join later on. That's number one. Number two, and this is something which only those who understand politics will understand. In this country, we have the broad-based government, where we have ODM, Uhuru faction, UD, and other political parties. Then we have the United Alternative Government, led by Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa. That formation will produce a single presidential candidate. Then now we have the new kid on the block, Linda Mwananchi. I want you to pay very close attention. Now we have Linda Mwananchi. Linda Mwananchi is facing serious dilemma. They are being pushed to join the United Alternative Government, because Edwin Sifuna has been telling us that, if United Opposition front a candidate, they'll beat Ruto, but by 2 p.m. If Linda Mwananchi, they'll beat Ruto by 2 p.m. But if they combine forces, by 8 a.m. But there's a problem. Their supporters, the Linda Mwananchi supporters, are telling Sifuna that we don't want to associate with the past. We don't want Kalonzo. We don't want Rigathi. We want fresh start. And that's why people like Caleb Amisi are making a lot of noise, and people are listening to their message. And also, the other dilemma they face is that if they were to join this camp, they must be willing to either become the presidential candidate or the running mate. But the odds are against them as far as the presidential candidate is concerned, which means if they were to join this camp, they're likely to become running mate. And that's something they don't want. So which means they must now create a third force. That's where now this political party is coming in. Natembeya is going to create a party, and now they are detaching. They are removing people from the United Alternative Government. You can see Natembeya has joined them. They picked who? Irungu Kangata to this group, and now they are actually doing that. And I also believe that with the time, Matiang'i might actually join this other group. So it's a strategic way of detaching from the United Alternative Government. That's what they're doing. So that they want to be distinct. If they decide to run for the presidency, Linda Mwananchi. And of course, they must have a political party. Number 3 is what I call Uhuru Kenyatta factor in Edwin Sifuna's politics. It's a known fact that Uhuru Kenyatta is going to play a key role in 2027 politics. And it's also a known fact that Uhuru Kenyatta is the force behind Fred Okengo Matiang'i. Just listen, I want to bring this very easily for you to understand. So Matiang'i is a candidate of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And it's also a known fact that Uhuru Kenyatta was the force behind Kenya Moja. Who were the leadership of Kenya Moja? Kenya moja, Sifuna, Kaleba Misi, there was Wamalwa, that group, Kibagendi and the rest. Now we are talking of two groups. Fred Matiang'i, Kenya moja, both tied to Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenya moja's role was simple, one only, to checkmate ODM and if possible, break away from ODM. What we are seeing today, because these are things I used to explain before. Now let us go to Matiang'i. And I want you to study Matiang'i since he came back from the US, how he's been playing his politics. Matiang'i is not moving in the same direction with Rigathi Gachagua. Of course, at some point, they tried to mend fences. But there were two other individuals who are constant figures in Matiang'i's politics, so that if Matiang'i is going to this place, they would always be there. They would always host Matiang'i. One of them is Peter Munya. Who is the other one? George Natembeya. Those two. So it means Uhuru was using Peter Munya and Natembeya and Matiang'i. You can now link those three people, Peter Munya, George Natembeya, and Matiang'i. Those are Uhuru Kenyatta's allies. Now we are seeing one of Uhuru Kenyatta's ally leaving DAP-Kenya, which was part of the United Alternative Government. And he's saying he's joining Sifuna's group. So I want to assume he's going to be the link between Sifuna group and Matiang'i and Uhuru. And not only doing that, he's going to take charge of a new party which is going to be formed. So what we'll need to dig deep into to understand is who is behind this new political party. So for me, I'm trying to imagine that at the end of the day, Sifuna will team up with Matiang'i, but will dissociate from the United Alternative Government led by Rigathi and Kalonzo. So that at the end of the day, we're going to have three political parties with or political formations, that is Kenya Kwanza, the United Alternative Government, and Linda Mwananchi. That's how I'm looking at it. And that's why Natembeya has been told now you have to make the next move. And lastly, Natembeya could be responding to ground politics. And the truth is, Sifuna's wave is too strong in the Luhya nation. Any political player who will not align with that brand of Edwin Sifuna or with that faction, I can assure you, they are going to be in for a very rude shock. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.